Our location is in Sandy, Oregon. Mason, a member of our crew, purchased this 1967 Ford F-250 four-wheel drive, and it has a grille along the lines of a later model. Don't let the sight of it cause you to stress out. I don't think that's a 67 Roadkill. The well-liked automotive show that is hosted by David Freiburger and Mike Finnegan is synonymous with wild road trips and crazy car builds, all of which have contributed to the show's ability to amass a significant number of fans over the course of its history. Unscripted storylines and unique escapades, ranging from dragging junkyards to dragging junkyards, are the hallmarks of this show. A wrecked vehicle is brought back to life and resumed racing on the open road. In the realm of television car shows, the show presented something that was unparalleled. Fans, on the other hand, were taken aback when they learned that the organizers of the show will be bringing things to a close. People were perplexed as to why the popular series had to be canceled. Was it disagreements over creative direction, low ratings, or some drama that occurred behind the scenes? Come talk to us to discover out. Did you know that this particular episode of Roadkill Garage is the source of our great excitement? If you haven't been keeping up with the latest news, it's finally time for the bang shift Cougar to take on the repulsive. On the other hand, things are coming to a close at Roadkill. Indeed, you did hear that correctly. Following the formal announcement of the conclusion of Roadkill by Motor Trend, which was later confirmed by co-host Mike Finnegan in a post on Reddit, the show's faithful followers and admirers were left in a state of profound grief. When the news came out, it felt like the end of a much-loved chapter in the history of the automobile world. This was after 13 years of absolutely incredible car restorations and sheer enjoyment. Despite the fact that Roadkill had been the show of choice for a significant number of vehicle fans for more than a decade, the producers decided to pull the plug on it, leaving many people wondering what could have possibly occurred. Due to the unexpected and the fact that it did not sit well with many fans, they were left looking for solutions. Many fans have speculated that the reason for the suspension is connected to the show's parent company, Warner Brothers Discovery, which has an indisputably peculiar history of making sudden changes to television series, even with famous shows. The production firm has not provided a clear explanation for the official reason for the shutdown. Having said that, it is possible that there are some truths to the rumors that are circulating, which state that the shift in priorities and the restructuring of the corporation were significant factors in the decision to cancel Roadkill. Simply said, the merger that resulted in the formation of Warner Bros. Discovery is the primary cause for the withdrawal of the show. To avoid any confusion, Warner Bros. And Discovery are two distinct businesses. However, ET created a new company by combining the Warner Media spinoff with Discovery Inc. In 2022, this new company was formed from the merger of the two organizations. Warner Bros. Discovery and entertainment conglomerate came into existence as a result of this merger. Nevertheless, this development did not come without its drawbacks. Some of the drawbacks include restructuring, reducing the expenses of producing television shows, and completely revamping content across all platforms. By streamlining their operations and concentrating on content that is in line with the firm's objectives, the company was able to achieve its primary objective, which is to generate profits while simultaneously providing content that is relatable to its audience. The unfortunate reality is that the company's strategic strategy resulted in the cancellation of series that did not align with their new vision. This was the case regardless of whether or not the shows were well liked by the audience. Because of this, the show Roadkill, which had been produced by Motor Trend in the past, was moved into the category and eliminated. Although it is clear that the show had a sizable following in the automotive industry, The fact that the market for it is already somewhat saturated may have resulted in the firm placing less importance on it. This is because the corporation appears to be more focused on high-budget productions and content that is appealing to streaming services. Despite the fact that the abrupt conclusion of the show may have come as a surprise to some viewers, it is not that surprising at all. It is safe to state that the firm has a history of canceling shows that are most popular among its audience. On HBO Max, shows such as Raised by Wolves and Westworld, which have received ratings of 7.4 and 8.5 respectively, were canceled despite the fact that they entertained a significant number of viewers. But this behavior is not exclusive to television shows. There were also movies like Batgirl that were canceled by the corporation, and it was reported that they cost approximately $90 million. The demise of Roadkill, a show that embraced car culture, is unquestionably a significant loss for the millions of people who watched it. Even while the parent corporation has the last say, the fact that the show was canceled is not the sole reason why it was canceled. It is possible that the shift of the show to a subscription-based platform under the Motor Trend on Demand umbrella was another element that led to the show's demise, despite the fact that Warner Bros. Discovery was the most significant contributor to the show's demise. You have to understand that Roadkill was once a regular series on YouTube, and it was a huge success on that medium, where it was easily accessible to people all over the world, a global audience. However, in 2018, the show was relocated from YouTube to Motor Trend on Demand, which required a paid subscription. As you can expect, the transition caused some of the show's followers to abandon the show. Of course, that is not all. Due to the fact that they were either unwilling or unable to pay for the streaming service, many fans lost interest in the show immediately after it became exclusive. Following the transfer, there were some viewers who complained that the show had lost its attraction since it became less spontaneous than what they had seen earlier on YouTube. The detractors among the fans also noted that the do-it-yourself sentiments that made the viewers adore the show were somewhat lost on Motor Trend. This was another criticism that was expressed by the fans. In spite of the fact that devoted fans followed the show to its new home on Motor Trend, some of them eventually stopped watching it. This most certainly led to a decrease in viewership, which made it more difficult for the show to compete in a market that is dominated by free platforms that are financed by advertisements, such as YouTube. To put it simply, the transfer turned off a number of viewers, and it is highly likely that Warner Bros. Discovery took into consideration these alterations as a possible justification for canceling the show. Following the announcement that Mike had made on Reddit, he immediately took some time to express his gratitude to the devoted followers who have been there for him and his girlfriend ever since the show's premiere in 2012. In the post, he admitted that the decision to put an end to Roadkill was not an easy one, and he also stressed that there were a number of circumstances that contributed to the decision. The closure of Motor Trend's production studios was a noteworthy incident that he cited. This closure not only had an impact on Roadkill, but it also resulted in the cancellation of shows such as Engine Masters, which has an 8.5 rating on IMDb, and Dirt Every Day, which has an 8.4 rating. In the comments area directly beneath his post, followers expressed their dissatisfaction with the situation. Over the course of 10 years, Roadkill had been a source of amusement for a large number of people in the automotive world. It provided a combination of humor, adventure, and problem-solving that was lacking in other television car shows. Additionally, the fans complimented the authenticity of Mike and David, which was definitely an essential factor in the success of the show. They also enjoyed the chemistry that existed between the two of them. Due to the fact that they were always on the show, working on wrecked automobiles with limited budgets, tackling and joking about mechanical mishaps along the way, the two individuals were a match made in heaven for Roadkill. They were able to win the hearts of the fans by the unedited moments that they shared with them, which finally resulted in more than 50% of the viewers giving them a perfect score of 10 out of 10. Despite the fact that the fans were experiencing a range of emotions, they filled the internet with messages in which they shared their favorite moments from the show. In addition, they reminisced about the memorable experiences, such as the epic road journey in the Rot Sun, which is a 1971 Datsun 240Z rust bucket that has a track record of never failing to fail. The return of the Crusher Camaro, which has a lengthy history on the show, as well as the wacky challenges that define the spirit of Roadkill, are both things that are being discussed. Although there are other shows that focus on automobiles, many of the viewers felt that the show was about more than simply automobiles. It was the value that the lively host provided for their guests. In addition, the fans did not hold back when it came to Motor Train, pointing the finger of blame at the firm for the cancellation of the concert. It was their contention that the cancellation might not have taken place if they had not shifted it to a platform that required a membership and had instead continued to use a platform that was free of charge. Fans are hopeful about what Mike and Dave will do next, which is a positive development. Building anything from the ground up has always been one of their strong suits, as they are two of the most innovative personalities in the industry. A significant number of followers are confident that the duo will discover novel approaches to conveying their passion for automobiles to them. There was a rapid increase in the number of admirers who speculated about a replica or something that was comparable to Roadkill. Others hope for collaborations with other talented presenters in the industry, picturing how their creativity could merge with other fresh ideas. While some people propose that they return to YouTube, where they earned their popularity, others hope for partnerships with other proficient hosts in the sector. The enthusiasts made it quite apparent that they would unquestionably indicate their presence in any activity that was associated with the auto show, whether it was the restoration of new cars, road excursions, or anything else. One thing is certain, despite the fact that the future is still unclear and neither of the two individuals has provided the followers with any new information regarding their next move. However, Mike and Dave's influence on the entertainment industry of automobiles is not yet over.